What's good, y'all? This is John from the One Carolina Show, just dropping in on this beautiful Sunday, man. This is some of the most fantastic weather that I've seen all year, this last 2-day stretch that we've had, man. So I decided to come outside and just record a little vlog really quick, just to, more or less just kind of give my thoughts on what we saw yesterday, which honestly was absolutely incredible. Like, when you have a guy that's this talented, right, you're always looking for one thing that you can build on, right? Like, for instance, okay, this guy's really fast. We can build on RPOs. This guy's got a strong arm. We can air raid offense, right? You can let the ball go down the field more with ease because of the ability for him to push it down the field outside the hashes, things like that. But when you just look at the athletic profile of Anthony Richardson, when you look at his arm strength, his, ability to, scramble outside the pocket, like when you see plays, like I think Daniel Jeremiah say something like this, like when he was talking about how Anthony was pulling away, like when he ran his 40-yard dash, for instance, you could see that this is game speed as well. Like when he puts on pads, helmet, all that kind of stuff, he still has that same kind of breakaway speed because he did it against guys that were running 40s that were DBs for like LSU and stuff like that yesterday. He did the exact same thing against them in game, in real time. So like this speed that he has is transferable. It's not just, like speed that you see on a 40, like it's game speed as well. That's just crazy. And I think there's something to be said, like when you have a guy, and I know a lot of people would be like, man, but look at the completion percentage. Look at how he struggled in terms of his accuracy, like intermediate and stuff like that. I mean, I get that, and that is a real concern, as it should be. Like I wouldn't negate the fact that him struggling intermediate is important, especially, in a lot of ways, the money down in the NFL is third and 7 or whatever like that. So a lot of your more intermediate passes are going to cover that. And guys like Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, they're going to be better equipped earlier on to be able to handle that kind of load. You know what I'm saying? Like, it may take Anthony some time to really come around. The thing is, though, man, is this. With a guy this talented, what you can lean on early from him, you can see like with Jalen Hurts, the way that they lean heavily on the RPO, but it creates opportunities for air raid. It creates opportunity for mesh concepts, which Frank Reich just happens to be, really good at as far as the coach is concerned. But like, you just know, like in the back of your mind, at least I can't say this for anybody else. I can just know for myself. If this guy figures it out, and I don't know if the Panthers draft him or not. I've seen him on a lot of draft boards. I mean, from the way it looks right now, it looks like he can end up being number 1. But I can't say this definitively. But here's what I do know. I know that if this guy figures it out, oh my gosh, you're talking about top 3 to 5 quarterback talent in the history of the NFL. Like, we've never seen anything like this. As a matter of fact, I saw that people were comparing him to Cam Newton. And I know some people are like, man, it's you shouldn't do that just because that's not cool. That's not fair to Cam. Well, actually, I think it's a compliment to Cam because Cam was something that we never saw up until that point, right? And when you look at his arm strength, and just his athletic profile, like every measurable from a combine perspective specifically, was far beyond what Cam had measured out to be. Now, who knows if he'll ever be the pro that Cam was, and clearly he wasn't the college quarterback Cam was. Cam won a national championship with Blinn Junior College. He won a national championship with Auburn. And who knows what Cam, for all we know, Florida could have been, 2 or 3 titles up if they keep Cam Newton on board, right? If that situation didn't happen with the laptop or whatever. But the point I'm making is that I don't think that you have to lesser Cam in order to give AR his flowers. But I will say this. When you look at just how fluid his throwing motion is, how the velocity on the ball placement, we've never seen this before. Like, this is like ridiculous. And so I know that a lot of people mocked us, the Carolina Panthers, to draft him. I'll be honest with you, I don't know if he makes it. depending on, if what happened yesterday and what happens with interviews and stuff like that, as he's already nailed in the combine, becomes something that, teams love, I could easily see the team jump up to number one to get him. And I'll be honest, man, this guy, like I said, in an RPO, when you think about what you saw from Philly this year, just how difficult that offense was to scheme up against. They were like nearly impossible to stop at times. Like, how much more deadly would an offense be with a guy like this? Like, it'd be otherworldly. I know I do videos about every quarterback because as a content creator, I'm going to look at every option. Plus, it's just fun to assess, and I think you guys enjoy it. So I'm going to look at every option. This is another one of those options I'm looking at. And to be quite honest, this is one of those options that would just be, I don't even think it's boom or bust, because when you're this talented, I know a lot of people are like, man, it's going to be absolutely, he's going to be an absolute rock star or he's going to be terrible. I don't know if I agree with that. And the reason is because if, let's just say he was one read and take off running, like, you can't spy or crash a safety or anything enough to be able to stop that consistently. So if he has to lean on that in the beginning, suppose that he has to start, like, I don't think he'll start right away, but depending on the situation. But if he had to rely on that for a while, so be it. It's up to you to stop it. And I like his confidence in saying, you know what, maybe that is me for the time being. One of the things that was a knock on Robert Griffin when he was drafted was that, there was that whole rumor going around, and who knows if it was just something that people were talking about in the media or if it was actually a true statement. But a lot of people were saying like, he came out and said he wants to be like Peyton Manning or, Tom Brady or whatever like that. And it's like, listen, if you stuck with what made you successful, you probably have more success. Now, his injury played a huge part into that. But like, one of the things that I like from AR, like, when they mentioned the whole thing about his arm strength, they said like, hey man, like, do you think you need to take less torque on the ball? He's like, nah, if I throw it, regardless of how hard I throw it, you got to catch it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like that confidence. So like, coming into this league, this is a different situation. Like I talk with my friends. I was talking to my homie, Saqib, shout out to Saqib Ahmed from Panthers Playbook. I was talking to him last night. I was like, man, can you imagine what Michael Vick would have looked like if he came into this NFL where the RPO and the college concept was appreciated and, taken in and welcomed, as opposed to him having to conform himself from what he was. A lot of what he was doing, especially his first couple of years, just looked like he was drawing up stuff in the dirt. And people just couldn't figure it out, like, at all. Not to mention that he wasn't really studying his playbook and stuff like he should have been. So that, that was part of it as well. But can you imagine what he looks like? And I think we're starting to see that. We're seeing that with Jalen. We're seeing that with Lamar Jackson. We're seeing that now. We have the opportunity to see that with Anthony Richardson. So I don't know, man. This is very interesting. But, I'm going to be doing a couple of new things coming up this week and next week. A couple of new videos. Obviously, we're going to delve into some mock drafts. I'm going to bring in some really special guests for the mock draft. So be excited for that. Be looking forward to that. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know if you think Anthony Richardson was just a combine show, gone wild, or is this actually a situation where you could see like a super, super talented guy have an opportunity to change the landscape of the NFL? Make sure to comment below, hit the like button, subscribe button, and bell notifications so you never miss a video. This is John from the One Carolina Show. Keep pounding.